today's video. It is going to be tips. I'm not sure at this point how many tips, but it's going to be tips on how to work your way into zero waste or low waste, a better way to put it, because there's really no way to be completely zero waste in the world that we live in. But rolling right into it, I wanted to start with tip number 1 because I'm about to head off to the grocery store, and that is bring your reusable bags. We just have about 3 in here, and we also have bulk bags. So some produce bags, we reuse this coffee bag, and this is what we use to fill up our bulk items like dried legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, so on and so forth. So I am going to head on over to Sprouts and get this thing rolling. We're just almost at Sprouts now. Steven is coming with me, my sidekick when it comes to grocery shopping and everything. Today I just kind of woke up and I have been listening to Abraham Hicks a lot, and I wanted to share some good mantras with you. And that is that if you are listening to this in the morning or whatever time you're listening to it, know that repeat these things to yourself. Today is going to be a great day. I am in full control of what my day ahead looks like, and it's going to be amazing. Nothing, not anything, will get in the way of my good day. And as cheesy as it may sound, it really, really does work to repeat these mantras to yourself. And so I just want to leave you with that note. Next step, Sprouts. Check the ads right when you get in if you didn't before. And shopping in produce, put those reusable bags to good use. Go for the things that are not wrapped in packaging. There's so many options. Broccoli, the produce section is normally pretty good. You can get loose carrots outside of bags. The cabbage is always typically loosely unwrapped. And then heading over to the bulk section, this is where you're going to use your reusable little mesh bags. So you can use this for whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds. The options are endless depending on your bulk section that you are using. As you can see, we definitely fill up on almonds, especially when they are on sale. Today we only got a little bit. One of my favorite perks of Sprouts is that they have a bulk spice section. I was so excited when I first went to Sprouts for this reason alone. So we are officially back from the grocery store. There's little Ray. Hey Ray! Hey Ray! Come here! Come here! There you are. What I was going to say is that, so one thing that kind of stinks is that you can't not get a receipt at Sprouts. So you can of course say no receipt, but it automatically prints out. So it's automatically already creating that waste, which kind of stinks. I hope that in the future they are able to update their system so that we can get receipts emailed to us. Next tip is going to be to compost. Get a 5-gallon bin, bring it into your home, put your scraps in it, find a place where you can compost it, or if you have a backyard, create a composting section. Next up is going to be making your own milk. You can make milk from nuts or seeds. Right here we are using almonds. Very easy to just soak them. Add water in. We do a 1 cup to 5 cup ratio of water. Here we are doing half of that amount. Fill it up, blend it, and then go ahead and strain out all of the pulp. I call it pulp, but it's really almond meal. And you will see us straining it out here. We just put our mesh bags to good use, and we use it as a nut milk bag, but you could definitely get a nut milk bag and it would do just the same. Be sure if there's anything left over in whichever blender you are using, you put it to good use, shake it up, and add it in to the milk. And when it comes to straining it out, be sure you are not squeezing too hard. Depending on the bag, the almond meal can come through, again, depending on how fine those holes are in the mesh bag that you are using. And that is it. You have your own homemade milk. Another really great tip to do with that leftover almond meal is to, well, turn it into almond meal. Spread it out finely as best as you can on a cookie sheet. Stick it in the oven at about 250 degrees. And from there, keep it in until you notice the moisture has been sucked out of the almond meal, leaving just this dry texture. Once it is fully dried, you would then stick it in a blender, blend it for a couple seconds, and you have almond meal. Put everything to good use. Next up is using all of the containers in your home. Jars, oatmeal containers, leftover containers that you got from a to-go store or a to-go night out. Fill them up with legumes, nuts, seeds, all of your dried goods. This is a great way to kind of have fun in your kitchen. Get creative. Some people even like to create labels. As you can see, I'm making a mess. No biggie though. As you can see, I am also reusing my Quaker Oats container. I've had this bad boy for at least 7 months now, and we just keep filling her back up. And it's great because it's already labeled, so we always know it's the oats, obviously. Leaving the leftovers just in those produce bags until we are ready to fill it up again. As you can see, we use it for nuts, seeds, our ground flaxseed. Those are the full flaxseed, our oats, and pulsed walnuts for our oatmeal topping. So you can really get creative. Next is to invest in a Brita filter if you haven't. They're really cheap, about $20 to $30. Attach it onto your faucet and fill up those reusable bottles. Okay guys, so wow, this is actually 2 days later from that last clip. And I wanted to kind of come in here and wrap up the last 3 tips that I kind of have for you for going low waste, zero waste, transitioning into this new lifestyle. And tip number 7 is going to be to bring to go containers when you go out to eat. So this is a big one and it tends to be one of the hardest, because it's just not something that you always have on hand or something that you're always thinking about when you go out to eat. Sometimes you go out to eat on a whim. So my suggestion for you is to keep them clean, ready to go in your car. Or even possible, you can keep like little mini ones depending on how big or small your purse is, if you carry a purse, so on and so forth. But the best tip is just to always try and keep your to-go containers as well as your to-go cups in your car ready to go, and you'll have less of a chance of forgetting. Keep track of all of the clues from the bulk section. So depending on what grocery store you do it, or if you go to a farmer's market, you might not have to worry about it, but most cases, you do have to write down the clue number of the food that you're getting from the bulk section on a like little tag. Now, to avoid writing it down, you can just keep track of it in your phone or keep track of it on a little piece of paper, so you don't have to keep using those little twist ties. It's just a really simple and easy way to avoid creating that waste. And I have it up here to show you kind of how I have a long list of all of the clues from Sprouts. So tip number 8 at this point is going to be to make your own bathroom products or household products. So you can get little reusable jars from thrift stores, from friends. Look at what you already have in your household. You'd be very surprised at how many things you already have available to you in your household. But making your own products, you'll save a bunch of money because you have to buy each individual item to create the product. So this right here is just some lotion that I had made. I just bought some very plain, unscented, allergen-free, vegan, cruelty-free lotion. And I added some essential oils. So this is just a very small option. It's super dry here in Salt Lake City. So I just put it in a little jar, and I've made a lot more in a bigger container, and I just dispose it into this little jar. Same goes for toothpaste. I've been making baking soda toothpaste. Really easy to do if you can get past that salty flavor. If not, you can add different essential oils to kind of bypass that salty flavor, and a variety of different ingredients. There's so many DIY recipes online available to you. Ray, no. She always eats what's on the ground. And so that's gonna be a big lifesaver. And plus, chemical free. You know exactly what you're putting on your body, what you're using in your household, because you can do this for household cleaning items. You'd be insanely surprised at how many chemicals go into a lot of our household products that we are not aware of and that are just not necessary in any way, shape, or form. Number 10 is going to be to shop secondhand. So shopping secondhand is a really easy one, and I know for some things people are going to be like, but I can just not buy this secondhand. Just knowing that someone slept on this bed, I'm not going to be able to purchase the secondhand. And you know, if you really can't get past certain items, getting them secondhand, I understand. But in the areas of your life that you can, like clothing or kitchen items or bathroom items, so many different things, you can get everything secondhand. There are so many awesome apps that you can do, like Poshmark and Vinted. There's OfferUp and there's Let Go. There's so many different options. And as well, look at your local thrift stores. There are a lot of different communities also do trade events. So you bring in your stuff and trade for something else that you're going to find more use in. And so there's so many different opportunities in your area if you just start looking for them. But buying secondhand is really an easy step and move forward. The items are cheaper. You'd be surprised at how great of stuff, like you can still be styling with secondhand items. So don't ever think that you can't. It just takes a little bit more creativity, a little bit a little change in perspective, let's just say. So those are my 10 tips for transitioning into a zero waste, low waste lifestyle. I really hope that you were able to benefit in some way. And please, I love to hear anything that you guys are doing in this transition, or anything that you are doing at this moment just to create less of an impact on the planet. She's eating a rock. But please leave those down in the comments below, whatever you guys are doing. I really love to interact with you all, and even gain knowledge and ideas from you guys, because honestly, YouTube is such an awesome platform to create that community and that interactive atmosphere. So I hope you guys have a rockin' day, an amazing rest of your week. And like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and if you're excited for all of the videos to come. Much love. Namaste.